Like once they internalize that, that becomes their reality. Just getting a new book is like, that turns me on. I look like a clown, bro. I look like an idiot. Hey YouTube, I'm Tavane, but you guys can call me T. One thing I hate is that we try to pass on our mindset to the younger generation. I've heard my dad, I've heard my stepmom, I've heard countless other people say some things. One of the thing is I heard my stepmom say like, yo, the world doesn't reward you for being a woman or something like that, or you have to work twice as hard because you're a black woman too. And when you're passing that on to the younger generation, especially the kids, and they internalize that, that's going to form their reality. That's going to become their reality. A girl will have to work twice as hard just because she believes that she won't be rewarded for being a woman. And then if a black child hear that, because you're black, expect that everyone's gonna hate you, expect this, expect that, expect you have to go above and beyond to get approval, you have to work so hard, and you still won't make it in life. They will internalize that. Once they internalize that, that becomes their reality. They will be looking over their shoulders because they heard from their parents, they heard from older peers that everyone's trying to harm them because they're black. No one trusts them because they're black. They have to work above and beyond. They have to go above and beyond because they're black. Once they internalize that, that becomes their reality. Everything affects them. Children are so important. You have to keep their mindset pure because the Bible even says it, like the mind of a child. Like you have to have the mind of a child to be able to go to heaven. Like you have to believe, like their imaginations is such a big thing, because unlike us, once we reach a certain age, like imagining things, just it became childlike. You have to grow up, stop imagining. That's what they taught all of us. But if a child lacks imagination, like there's no fun for them. That's why I still have my imagination nowadays. But anyways, yeah, you can't say certain things to a child. You can't pass on certain mindset, certain mentality. The thing is too, like your environment shapes your reality. Two people can grow up in the same environment, in the same circumstances, but because one had a different mindset, one come out different. One person can look at it that, the world's trying to get to them. They can only fight against the world. There's no opportunity anywhere. And another person can be born in the same place as them, under the same roof. Everything's the same. And their mindset is like, opportunities everywhere. I just need to go out and grab it. And their life path will be two different things. Your mindset shapes your reality. Whatever you believe becomes your focus. And the next thing to believe is lying. Be lying. You're lying to yourself. But it is also important. And next thing to believe is knowing. So you know that you're lying to yourself. Because nothing is for certain, bro. Like my wall right there is just a bunch of sticky notes with stuff I'm gonna do. And one of the sticky notes, my orange sticky note, is for like, things I want. I want a BMW X6. I say I am going to get a BMW X6. That's not certain, bro. But I believe it so much. I know that it's possible. Because I have in my mindset that I know I will achieve it. I know that it's possible for me to get. I'll give you a next thing. I grew up hearing from my mom that, don't gamble. Gambling is bad. Well, she didn't straight out say gambling is bad, but I formed the identity that, I don't gamble because gambling is bad. When I moved to Canada now, I want to get rich. That's my whole scheme. I moved to Canada now. My dad used to pressure me like, buy lotto. Remember, I don't do that because gambling is bad. That's my identity. And my dad looked at me one day and said, you'll never get rich unless you buy lotto. And I'm like, imagine if my mindset wasn't strong back then. I would have internalized that and I would have started buying lotto heavily. Imagine if I internalized that. And I'm saying, yo, with stuff like that, you say certain stuff to kids and they don't have that willpower to believe in their own thing. So they internalize what you say and it shapes their reality. Because imagine going up to a kid whose dream is to become rich because he wants to help his family out. And you say, yo, you'll never become rich unless you buy lotto. Every money that child gets, he would want or she would want to buy lotto from it. Because someone told them that. Someone told them that, yo, you'll never get rich unless you buy lotto. And you're way more likely to get struck by lightning than winning the lotto. Yeah, I've heard people win the lotto, yes, but it's not me. It's not anyone I know. And next thing too, you have to become that person mentally before you can achieve it. Be, do, have. The way how I look at it is, remember in the Bible when the man built his house on sand and the man built his house on stone? The sand is easy money. The person did not become the person who can sustain it. So when the storm comes, when the storm came, his house was washed away. His house was destroyed. And the person who built his house on the stone is longevity, is the person who worked and crafted and become that person who can sustain wealth. That's how I looked at it. So if you get money quick and you don't know how to handle it, you're gonna lose it fast. Look at so much people who won the lotto, won so much millions, and in a few years they're gone. Remember the Hawk Tuah girl? Remember she? How she got quick success and then she did some Bitcoin thing and then bam, broke. Look how much people that have gotten wealth fast but didn't get the identity to sustain the wealth and they just went back to square one. It was like, yo, they didn't get rich. And I have formed the identity that I need to become the person who can sustain wealth. Yo, I hate being given handout. I hate it. And that stemmed from seeing my mom being such a hard worker that I internalized the idea that I have to work for my money. I have to work. I have to grind for it. That's the identity I have. I don't like handout. I have the belief that, yo, if someone came to me and be like, yo, I'm giving you $1 million for not doing anything, I would reject it. And I would say, yo, I'm going to make my own million someday. So I don't want your million. I would reject the handout. Yeah, you might say, yo, it's stupid, but that's just me, dog. That's just my identity. It's like it's hard to change certain beliefs, certain mindset. There it is. It's hard to change certain beliefs, certain mindset. So imagine telling a child, someone who's prone to anything, a child, imagine telling them some negativity. Imagine feeding them negativity and they internalize that. That shapes their whole world, that changes their whole character. You know, racism isn't born, it's taught. So a lot of racist people who was around, they were taught by someone else because kids don't see color. You can leave a black kid and a white kid in the same area and they would just start playing together. But as soon as one come and say, oh, you can't play with them because they're a different skin color, that's the moment the kids stop playing with them. That's the moment the kids start bullying the other one because they're a different skin color. It all has to do with mindset. It all has to do with what we think. The mindset we have shapes our reality. Please don't pass negativity on to a child. Please don't say anything that can demoralize a child. Let them be free. Let their imagination run wild. Don't tell them that they can't do something. Don't give them no BS line about, oh, you have to work twice. You know what? People are gonna hate me for saying this, but yo, as a black person, me, a black person, an immigrant black person from a small island in the Caribbean, the best island in the Caribbean, I see that there is more possibility for a black person to achieve success than a white person from the same roots as them. I see it more as, say, I see it as more guaranteed. You can look at a black person from the garrison, from the ghetto, from the slums and say, yo, that person, if they can rap, if they can play sports, if they can do this, they're set. I've never seen a white person from the slums, from the garrison or whichever, who got the talent or something like that and actually became big enough. Like, I've heard so much success story about a black man, a black woman, this, that. Because it's like, for us, it's guaranteed, bro. For us, it's guaranteed. So imagine telling a child that, yo, success is guaranteed because you are who you are. I am who I am. Remember what God said to Moses. Imagine me looking at one of my younger siblings and saying, yo, for you, success is guaranteed because you are made in the image of God. Why not say that to the kid? Why not say that to the children? Success is guaranteed for you because you're made in the image of God. Instead of saying, oh, you have to work twice as hard because you're black. Oh, the world doesn't love you because of your skin complexion. Or because of your gender, the world's gonna mistreat you and you're gonna be behind the other gender. Why did I say behind like that? Instead of saying stuff like that, just encourage the children. Give them something to believe in. Help them to stay positive. Help them to grow. Help to shape their identity into someone who can actually build wealth for future generation. Because, yo, generation curse isn't just like witchcraft or something like that. Some of the time it's mindset. Most of the time it's mindset. Because imagine me growing up in the slums and thinking, and my mindset is like, yo, this is all I know. I'm going to stay here. And then I have a kid grow up in the slum and they adopt the same mindset as me. That's going to pass on until someone decide to break the curse. Someone decide to leave the slums and go out. And they're gonna get so much fight for trying to be different. A prophet cannot preach in his own place. Jesus couldn't heal people from where he was because they still saw him as a Mary and Joseph's son. You have to separate yourself to break generational curses. Like back then in Jamaica, yo, like I hardly saw anything for me. When I moved to Canada too, I hardly saw anything for me. It was when God opened my eyes and I saw that I had so much potential. I saw that there was opportunity everywhere. And me trying to tell people that who's not self-aware enough. I look like a clown, bro. I look like an idiot. But it is my duty and my job to separate myself and to show them that it's possible. Yo, I'm 22, bro. And it feels like I'm way behind where I should be. But at the same time, it feels like I'm way in front of where I was just based off of knowledge alone. It's not based off of materialistic things. Like a few months ago, a few years ago, I didn't have this mindset, bro. I was still insecure. I didn't have any financial knowledge. If you put a book in front of me, I would have kicked that to the side. I used to hate reading. And now, you put a game in front of me and you put a book beside it, I'll choose the book over the game any day. Don't matter what the game is, bro. Like, my favorite thing to do is read. Other than working out, of course. Yo, my favorite thing to do is read. Genuinely. Like, just getting a new book is like, that turns me on. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. But no, like, reading is so fun. I used to love reading as a kid until I got insecure about reading. Like, yo, I'm not even gonna get into that, but you know, like when kids, you mess up one word reading and someone will say, oh, you're dunce, you can't do this and you can't. I got insecure about that, and I used to hate it reading for years just because of the mindset that I adopted back then. And now, like, reading has changed my life so much. My knowledge has expanded. I could just start dropping some big words. But yeah, please, please speak positivity over the kids instead of speaking negativity, instead of telling them about lack, instead of teaching them about lack. Teach them about abundance. Tell them that they can achieve anything they want in life because they're made in the image of God. Tell them that God gave us everything we want. Tell them God gave us everything we need to achieve success, instead of telling them that they lack this and they lack that. Tell them that whatever they want to achieve in life, all they have to do is focus on it. But that's the video for the day. Peace.